If authentic, the Gemini 11 UFO is possibly the most incredible photo of a UFO ever taken. By clarity, by provenance, by setting, by evidential validation, and by consequence. Strikingly clear, it was found in the personal collection of a senior NASA engineer, auctioned off in 2023. It was seemingly taken in outer space. A variety of pieces of evidence around the mission appear to validate the possibility that the photo is real, and the fact it would have necessarily been covered up by NASA makes it very relevant to the modern movement toward UFO disclosure. Through personal connections, I've become aware of an impressive photo of a flying saucer which appears to have been taken aboard the Gemini 11 manned spacecraft launched by NASA in 1966. This is a consolidated account of the investigation of the photo undertaken thus far, primarily by historian Ed Wilson, who obtained the photograph at an auction of the personal effects of senior NASA engineer Scott Simpkinson. The lithograph was found in an archival quality 3mm non-stick vinyl protector sleeve in the back of a personal collection of historical NASA materials, traceable to one of NASA's very first engineers, Scott H. Simpkinson. According to his New York Times obituary, Mr. Simpkinson joined the Aircraft Engine Research Laboratory of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics in 1943 as a mechanical engineer. The National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics was a predecessor to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, better known as NASA. When NASA was founded in 1958, Simpkinson was chosen to organize the agency's Cape Canaveral operations in Florida. He led technical management for the Mercury program, NASA's very first manned space program. After that, Mr. Simpkinson filled increasingly responsible positions in the Gemini program, eventually taking over as manager of test operations and mission evaluations. It is his tenure in this capacity that pertains to the subject at hand, as it is through his leadership of the Gemini program that he would have obtained any photographs taken aboard the Gemini 11 spacecraft. Mr. Simpkinson passed in 1996. He was survived by his daughter and sister, but he did not pass his NASA materials on to either of them. His materials instead fell into the hands of Ms. Emily Ertl, his administrative assistant at NASA and longtime friend. Ms. Ertl also had the unique distinction of being NASA's first female employee at Cape Canaveral. When she passed away in 2009, she donated a portion of Simpkinson's archive to the University of Central Florida and left the remainder to her nearest surviving relative, John Ertl, who sold it to the auction center from which Mr. Wilson acquired it. Mr. Wilson found the UFO shot tucked inside one of a total of 27 black 3-ring binders containing materials spanning the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo missions. Naturally, it remains a possibility that the photo was fabricated and that the fabrication fell into Simpkinson's collection. This report suggests 3 facts. 1. As determined in the course of the investigation up to the present, the photo is consistent with authenticity. That is, no information thus far obtained has ruled out the possibility that it is a legitimate NASA print of a photograph taken aboard Gemini 11. 2. Given the broader historical context of the UFO phenomenon, it is not unlikely a priori that UFOs have been sighted and photographed in space. This fact does not imply the authenticity of the photo, but it does make it more likely. 3. A variety of details about the mission warrant the attention of the curious mind. If the photo is real, then a deliberate effort has been made by NASA to conceal it from the public and from Congress. The agency is represented on T-shirts around the world. Space enthusiasts have looked to early NASA missions as a source of inspiration for many decades. Nothing stirs the spirit of American patriotism quite like the infamous photo of the Star-Spangled Banner planted on the surface of the moon. But continuously surfacing evidence regarding the history of government involvement with UAP throws into question their reputation as a simple bastion of American science by suggesting that the organization was not only an active participant in, but must have been instrumental to the success of the UFO cover-up in general, which began in earnest in the early 1950s with the establishment of the CIA's Robertson Panel. If we take seriously the idea that NASA was an active participant in the UFO cover-up, a few facts bear circumstantial relevance. 1. A battery cell on board the Gemini 11 shuttle failed at hour 54:31, a phenomenon continuously associated with close encounters with UFOs on Earth. 2. During the duration of the D-15 experiment performed on board the capsule beginning at hour 54:32:12, pilots Conrad and Gordon verbally report unidentified phenomena multiple times, as documented in the technical transcript. 3. Also during this duration, Mr. Conrad questions whether the tape recorder is on directly following 6 minutes of silence at 54:52:17. There is also evidence from the Gemini X transcript that under certain circumstances, NASA mission transcripts are censored. 4. The man in charge of all space photography processing for NASA at the time, naturally including the processing of all Gemini 11 photos, was Richard W. Underwood. Mr. Underwood had special military clearances and had flown Lockheed U-2s in the 1950s for intelligence gathering purposes. The U-2 program was concealed from Congress for a long time using loopholes in the defense program reporting and oversight mechanisms that allowed unclassified programs to remain unreported. At least one former senior military officer, Colonel Philip Corso, has alleged involvement of this clandestine U-2 program with UFO documentation and recovery. The Simpkinson print has the word unclassified prominently printed alongside the photo. 5. In a post-mission technical debriefing, pilot Mr. Gordon confirms citing a, quote, anomaly after losing the battery cell, and depending on your reading of the document, suggests that he took a photo of it. Go aft, just to get away from that darn... Look there, look there! What was that darn thing? Look at it, move that... Okay, update for D-15, start time 54:32:12. Roger, understand D-15 start time 54:32:12. Something go by your window out there? Yes, correct. Gemini 11, Hawaii. Go ahead. Alright, will you give us a reading on stack 2 Charlie, please? Roger, 2 Charlie is down at the bottom. Roger, it's at 0 amps, 0 volts. Gemini 11, Hawaii, might as well turn it off. Roger. Is the tape recorder on? Yes, the D-15 and watching your urine dump. Particles going by. I've been photographing. Camera start. Oh, there's something real shiny right there. Yes. Whatever it is, something moving straight down the scope on our left. A real bright spot. Not identified as a cloud, but flashing light possibly. Cloud cover is still going by. I could not see it. Kind of weird, kind of weird. Oh, what was that flashed and went by? Oh, I know what it was. It was a meteor. Hey, there's another one. Heck. I just got that better. Did you have the tube? Yes, but I didn't get a picture of it. Sure is. Saw it flashing by the tube, went straight down in front of us. Well, listen, that's not unusual. We'd see meteors come in at night and I'd forgotten all about them. That's what the heck it was. Yes, I didn't get it on this picture, but it sure was prominent on the tube. Man, you're going to have to scratch awfully fast to get it on the tube. I saw it, though. I almost got it. I had my thumb on it and didn't get to push it. It was gone. That's what that was, a meteor. Very good. I saw it, too. Yes, should be approaching the daybreak. Guess when we get there we ought to be crossing the coastline. Oh, there was another meteor. It's crazy. Why? Oh, there's one of them. Wow, look at that. What is that? What? That on our left, just passed over us. I can't see anything. That's a blossom, look at that. I'd say that's Calcutta. I can't see. What in the world is that reflected light on my window? I do believe that was the coastline that we crossed there. What do we do here? Stay headlocked until next... Howdy, Houston. We're progressing with the last half of D-15. Roger. 1. Third-party analysis of the physical photo, including the paper and ink used to print it, suggested consistency with 1966 NASA printing processes, and that the printing process for the UFO was the same as the printing process for the rest of the image. 2. Newly acquired National Archives footage from the D-15 experiment appears to contain depictions of a variety of UAP. While some of these depictions can be written off as particularly bright stars, camera artifacts, or features of the Earth, others have unique shapes or appearances, or match closely the appearance of the Simpkinson Archive UFO. Others still seem to demonstrate anomalous electromagnetic effects. 3. A photograph taken by the Hasselblad camera displays an exact cloud pattern match, implying the photo was either taken in close proximity to this photo, or that the UFO was superimposed onto or erased from this photo. A portion of this photo is also displayed prominently in the front of the mission report, but with a different label. Ed Wilson himself has published 2 books on the Simpkinson photo and his investigation of the Gemini XI mission surrounding it, containing extensive analysis and commentary omitted from this report. It is likely that mission footage remains unreleased, and much of the material referenced herein deserves greater analysis, including around the timing of various frames relative to the transcript and their exact content. D-15 frame 516 is especially unique in its composition, while the potential relevance of experiment S30 has been neglected in this report entirely, as have the technical details surrounding the battery failure. Who knows what conclusions could be drawn from a meticulous analysis? One possibility is that the photo was fabricated for a laugh and given to Mr. Simpkinson as a joke. Another is that the photo was fabricated as a deliberate plant. Another is that the photo is legitimate. In addition to the photo itself, aspects of the mission desire explanation, particularly the D-15 frame anomalies resembling the string of lights visible on the saucer. The investigative work of Ed Wilson and his collaborators, taken in combination with the rapid rate of UAP disclosure ongoing today, suggests a compelling argument for the continuous awareness of and involvement in covering up the existence of UFOs by NASA. Thank you for your attention.